Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your Aptrepreneur, and this is the long overdue Christmas video. I drove Lyft for Christmas. I did not drive DoorDash, I did not drive Uber, I drove Lyft. Now, I drove Lyft specifically for a few reasons. First of all, it really wasn't surging that much on either platform. I mean, you saw that it was in spots, but I don't know if it was actually legit. Most of the Uber surges I saw were like, 1.1, which isn't much of anything. So obviously I didn't have to worry too much about the surges. I didn't do DoorDash because most of the restaurants were closed. And after the fiasco on Christmas Eve, which I don't know if that video is going to be up by the time this one goes up because I kind of made that one and there was a lot of long pauses and stuff. Boy, that hair is bothering me. There was a lot of long pauses, and so I decided I wanted to edit those out because I could probably cut out like 2 solid minutes of just like imagine like just a lot of pauses like that going throughout the video. I want to cut them out. So this one might actually go before the Christmas Eve video goes up, which would be funny, of course, because yeah. Okay, there's gonna be a real quick cutaway while I fix this here. All right, there we go. So hopefully that should not be a bother anymore. But yeah, so I did Lyft. The other reason I did Lyft is because of the tipping feature, and I figured if I was going to hedge my bets that people were going to be generous, it was going to be on Christmas Day, and if they're going to be generous, I'd like the tip option to be easier because on Uber, some people might have been generous. I'm not saying they weren't, but they'd have to have cash on them. And I don't know if that was a founded fear because, interestingly, a lot of the tips on Lyft were given cash. So what did I find? Well, I personally found that doing Lyft on Christmas Day was lucrative, but no more so than usual. And here's what I mean by that. I made about $100 in fares on Lyft by driving about 6.5 hours. That's still more than minimum wage, but it's not a whole lot. I did, however, make an additional $20 of tips in the app. And outside the app, it was $50. Now, you might be saying, well, that sounds really good. That actually sounds like that's almost 200. Why would that not be better than usual? Well, because that's kind of, I can make more on that during a regular weekend with the boost guarantees and stuff. And here's something to consider that I've found out. I don't know if this is like something that is going to be a yearly thing, but I noticed the people in the morning and in the afternoon were way more generous with the tipping than the people in the evening. And I don't know why this is. But I kind of got the sense that people in the morning who were going to church, who were going to families' houses, they were very generous. They wanted to tip. They appreciated you driving on Christmas Day. Now, the people at night, it felt just like another night. It was weird. Like it was Christmas Day. I've got the music playing, and most of the time Christmas feels very Christmassy. You can just feel Christmas in the air. Granted, I've kind of made it clear that this year has not been a great Christmas for me, and unfortunately, I didn't get my Christmas wish. Interestingly, some progress on the situation might have been made, but bottom line, I'm going to be eating some serious humble pie if I want it to resolve at least even halfway decency. So if the person who I'm having this dispute with is watching this, well, not dispute, this fallout, I should say. Although I highly doubt she will be. Please let it be known. I will call. I will write. I got your email. I need some time. I don't want to say anything in anger, but there will be an apology of some sort. And I'm really sorry we didn't get to do our Christmas traditions this year. It's bugging me. Anyway, back to the Lyft video because that's what you really want to know, right? You want to know about this. Well, here's the thing. Like, first person in the morning tipped me like $15. Second person tipped me $20. Then in the afternoon, you got some $5 and $8 tips. Most of which were not on the app. Most of which they tipped in cash. It was interesting. I couldn't believe it. But then you got to the evening. And during the evening, you start picking people up and they're drunk and all they've been doing is drinking, or they've been hanging with buddies. And it dawned on me, for these people, it was not Christmas to them. It was a day off. It was just a day off for them, or One guy was working at 7-Eleven. I dropped him off at 7-Eleven. He's working the night shift. It doesn't. He missed Christmas. He slept through all of it. These people did not tip at all. And I mean, it really didn't even occur to them that you were out on Christmas Day, not spending time with families, driving them around. They didn't care. So, what does that mean for the future? Well, for the record, sorry, let me. For the record, in the future, I will probably not be driving on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. This was a rare exception to the rule. I've been doing this for a couple of years. Never once considered driving on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. Never even looked into it. This year, the circumstances were such that I didn't feel like celebrating. I wasn't with my family the way I could be. So I decided, you know what? YouTube channel's doing better. People are actually sending me emails saying now they appreciate the advice, even though I don't know if I give it particularly well, but they say they appreciate it. And so I decided now is the perfect time to do research on YouTube videos on what it's like doing this for Christmas Day. And so far the results were definitely well below average. Christmas Eve was a total bust, not because I did it wrong, but because, well, you can watch that video and find out. And Christmas Day was, I got my $100. I got over 150. So you know what, 100 like 70 or 80, whatever the heck it was, in 6.5 hours. Not bad, especially considering that I was on and off the app super sporadically, because I did go to church that morning and it was a nice service. We had all the little, we had gifts for like the kids and everything. And it's kind of strange to say this, but a few years ago there was like no kids at my church. It's a small church and there was like no kids there. There was like, they were all teenagers or adults, and then something happened. There was something in the water, and now we've got a church full of kids, so we could give them gifts, and it was nice, and I liked that. And then afterwards, did a little driving, then someone sent me a text, invited me to like a evening Christmas party of some sort, or really it was a Christmas gathering, so I went there. And so sporadically, I was probably not doing research as hard as I should have been, because on Christmas it's really easy to just not want to work, and I just did so. But it was lucrative. It was lucrative enough. I'm definitely under the impression that this is not really worth your time for the most part. If you can find something to do, anything to do, just do it. Because again, once you got to the evening, it just felt like any other night, and I don't know if that's worth giving up a Christmas for any other night. I don't believe that to be true. I don't like that, so I don't know. And had it been on Uber, this is such a good question, because since most of the tips on Lyft were cash, I don't know if the tips would have been worse on Uber or better or the same. But you know what? Here's the thing. Uber doesn't have the tip option, and on the off chance you pick someone up who wants to tip you and doesn't know that they don't have a tip option and they don't have cash, you're out of luck. So if you have to do this on Christmas Day, of course do Lyft. Lyft is by far the easiest recommendation out of all of this. But I think overall, it's not a huge boost. It's not significantly better than most days. Just take the day off and accept it. Spend it with your kids, your family, your friends. Friends that, maybe you should have been a little nicer to throughout the year, but deep down, you still care for them. Christmas is just a day you should celebrate. I'm sorry. I'm kind of glad I did this. Now I know, and I can safely tell people, no, it's not really worth your time. Enjoy your day off. Do something, anything. I think I would have been far happier playing Final Fantasy 15 that day, which I'm now finally catching up on, but would have been a lot farther had I been playing on Christmas Day. So anyway, that's my story for my Lyft adventures on Christmas Day. What do you folks think? Did any of you go for Christmas Day? Want to compare notes? Compare notes by commenting below, and like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.